Morning, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 streaming studio. Hope everyone is having a nice Thursday morning. Another chilly start to our day today. Going to talk about more cold weather heading our way as we head through the day today, but going to be keeping our eyes on tomorrow. Looks like it might be, going to has the potential to be at least, maybe a little bit of a mess, certainly tomorrow afternoon into the evening. Bit of a wintry mix impacting more than likely the eastern half of the state. We're going to look for the potential for some rain, also some ice. Doesn't really look like much, if any, snowfall expected across the area, but again, we'll dive into that in just a second. But we want to start off with, though, since it is Thursday, that means it is Drought Monitor Day. So taking a look at the latest drought conditions, again, across the state, this is what the Drought Monitor looked like last week at this time when it was released. And again, you can see a good chunk of north central, northwestern Nebraska under severe drought, a good chunk of the eastern half of the state just under moderate drought, southwestern Nebraska, the only corner there that has just normal conditions, not under any drought conditions. There in parts of southwestern Nebraska also have some of those spots of extreme drought shaded in red there, again across the far northwestern corner of the state out in the Panhandle. Also have a little bit of a sliver there up near Valentine and Cherry County, and then up into parts of northeastern Nebraska as well. So that was the Drought Monitor released last week. And again, what we have this week really is same thing, but no changes to the Drought Monitor. Again, kind of to be expected. We don't average much moisture in the winter months. So again, a lot of times there's not a huge swing in our Drought Monitor during the winter months. So again, everything has stayed the same, although again, we really didn't pick up much of any measurable moisture over the course of not just the last week, but the last several weeks. So if you look at the drought status over the course of the last year, again, you can see things were doing okay for the first 6 months of this, but the last 6 months we have seen that drought again continue to increase, and things have leveled off for us a bit here over the last several weeks. So again, that rain we had in November certainly helped immensely across much of the region. Again, third wettest November on record for us here in Lincoln. But again, since that very wet day we had towards the end of the month, we had almost inch and three quarters. We haven't had any measurable moisture so far in the capital city. So again, the whole state, as it stands now, just over 6% of the state not under any drought conditions. Again, in the biggest chunk of the state, about 40% under moderate drought, and 35%, 36% under severe drought, a little over 8% under extreme drought conditions. Nationally, again, you look at the drought monitor. Again, some of the spots that have the worst drought conditions right now across the high plains, the western Dakotas, Montana, Wyoming, down across the southwest Texas, down near El Paso, and then also have some areas of severe and extreme drought up into the parts of New England as well. So again, a couple areas that I will obviously keep an eye on here as we move forward, but there are still some problem spots out there when it comes to the drought monitor. If you look at the national drought status, again, you can see the first half of this period, things weren't all that bad, but again, we have seen that drought increase during the second half of this period over the course of the last year, but again, still very small percentages of the contiguous United States under any exceptional or extreme drought, less than 5% between those two categories, so that is good news there. Looking at the weather almanac for the day, again, these are the numbers from yesterday, 34 and 17 for a high and low. And again, we did have snow to start the day. At the Lincoln Airport, though, the official observation yesterday is just a trace of moisture, of precip, and of snow. Again, I would probably argue at my house, again, on the eastern side of town, I had maybe a tenth of an inch. And again, there were reports of maybe a tenth of an inch or two on the northern and eastern side of town. But again, western and northwestern Lincoln really didn't see much of that snow that we saw very early yesterday morning. So now just a shade over 4 inches below normal when it comes to our snowfall. And again, we're going to continue to add to our streak waiting for our measurable snow to return. Again, January 18th was the last measurable snow we had here in Lincoln, so it has been 329 days now since we've seen measurable snow. And again, the way the forecast looks, it looks like we're going to continue to run up this total as we head over the next week to 10 days as well, unless something changes from where the forecast is right now. Weather headlines for today, again, another cloudy and cold day. I do think we'll see some clearing skies, though, as we head through the day, but more cold weather, especially for the eastern half of the state, and then that wintry mix expected Friday into Friday night, and will likely linger into the day on Saturday as well. It's not going to be a wintry mix the whole time. I think eventually as it starts out, we could see a little bit of that wintry mix, but temperatures are actually forecast to climb at least a few degrees as we head through Friday afternoon into Friday evening and even into the overnight hours as more moisture-rich air moves into the region. So dew points are actually forecast to be climbing as we head, again, Friday evening into Friday night and into the day on Saturday, and that should push temperatures above freezing, and so then we could be dealing with just rain Friday night into Saturday morning. So again, it's a little bit of a complicated forecast, and a lot's going to be dealing with just what the temperature is at the surface. And again, this is why winter forecasting is one of my least favorite things to do, because in the summer and springtime, it's just thunderstorms. Where are they going to be? And in the wintertime, it's like, okay, it's going to rain, but what's the temperature going to be at the ground? What's the temperature going to be a couple thousand feet off the ground? What's the temperature profile that this moisture is going to be falling through? Is it going to be snow melting into rain, potentially then refreezing into freezing rain, or is it just going to be all rain? And so it can get pretty messy there. So, but it is a pretty complicated forecast. But then temperatures are expected to continue to climb as we head into the upcoming weekend. Sunday looks like it's going to be a pretty nice day for us with temperatures into the 50s across the state. Right now, across the state, again, dealing with some clouds, some sunshine, depends on where you are. O'Neill and North Platte right now looking at blue skies, but here in Lincoln and in Grand Island as well, dealing with cloudy skies as we start our Thursday. Temperatures are chilly out there, just a few minutes past 9 o'clock. It's 19 at the airport, 18 here at the studio, but feels like 6 when you walk outside with an east wind at around 13 miles an hour. Again, that dew point right now is at 2. So, again, very dry air. That's expected to rise dramatically as we head over the next 24 to 36 hours or so. Temperatures on the Tempest stations across the Lincoln Metro generally sitting in the mid to upper teens. So, again, cold just about everywhere across the Lincoln Metro and cold just about everywhere across the 1011 coverage areas. Temperatures are generally in the teens to lower 20s. A little bit warmer, a few degrees warmer as you head across the Nebraska Panhandle, with temperatures in the mid to upper 20s in those areas. Wayne right now is the cold spot there at 9 degrees early this morning. Winds generally out of the east at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. You factor that in, and wind chills are in the single digits for most of us early this morning. So again, bundle up as you head out the door this morning. Satellite radar picture, pretty quiet. Not a whole lot happening. Again, there's some clouds out there, maybe a few flurries. But again, as I mentioned, that dew point is at 2. So again, the air is very dry. So again, any moisture that could be falling likely evaporating before it reaches the ground, but won't rule out a stray flurry or two early this morning. If you look at the visible satellite imagery early this morning, we'll go ahead and let it run through here and pause. Again, you can see, we'll call it variable cloudiness across the state. Again, we saw there out in North Platte and O'Neill, blue sky, but again, some areas dealing with some thicker cloud cover early this morning. I think as we head through the day, we're going to continue to see the variable cloudiness and peaks of sunshine here and there. Satellite radar picture looking at a regional view. Again, snow showers across parts of southern Iowa to northern Missouri. Otherwise, things are pretty quiet across our region. As you might look at a national view, yesterday, again, had a lot of activity along the eastern seaboard, not quite as much. Dealing with some lake effect snow, though, again, across parts of western New York, western Pennsylvania, and those areas, also across parts of Michigan as well. Rain and snow showers also along the west coast early this morning. You look at the weather alerts, there's not a whole lot going on. Again, there's some lake effect snow warnings for parts of New York. There's some winter storm warnings along the western side of Michigan. Also have some flood watches and some winter weather advisories, some air quality alerts along the west coast as they have some moisture moving in on the western seaboard. But again, here at home, at least for right now, no weather alerts for us just yet. Certainly wouldn't be surprised, though, if they did issue potentially some winter weather advisories for eastern Nebraska as we head into the day tomorrow. So Skycast, as we run through the day today, again, really not a whole lot's expected for our Thursday. Again, there's going to be some peaks of sunshine. There's going to be some cloud cover as we head through the day. So we'll call it variable cloudiness through the day on Thursday, but it's dry as we head through the day on Thursday. But as we head tonight, and then into the day on Friday, we're going to start to see that cloud cover begin to increase. I think we're going to be looking at a generally overcast day for most of the day on Friday, and I don't think we'll see much in the way of any moisture through the first half of Friday. There could be some patchy drizzle, maybe some mist, maybe some flurries, maybe some light freezing drizzle. But again, the most of the moisture that we're expecting on Friday is going to come as we head into the second half of the day. So Friday afternoon into the evening is when we're expecting, again, that cloud cover to really thicken up. Moisture continues to increase across the area. Dew points continue to increase across the area. And so I think that chance for moisture will really begin to tick up as we head into the afternoon and evening. Now, initially, when this begins to fall, it looks like temperatures are going to be either just below freezing or right around that freezing mark. So I think initially, as we see precipitation develop, it could come in the form of that freezing precipitation. So the light freezing drizzle, light freezing rain being possible across the eastern half of the state. But eventually then, as temperatures continue to tick up by a few degrees, we would see that transition over to just rain. Our in-house model here, again, starting to pick up on some of those isolated rain showers by late Friday. And again, I should also mention, this freezing drizzle that we're talking about, really hard for the models and even for the radar to really pick up and resolve that. So again, you don't see much in the way of any moisture necessarily on this contour, but I do think it will be there as we head into Friday afternoon, Friday evening. And then as we head overnight Friday into early Saturday, we see a little bit more widespread actual rain develop across the area, and that's expected to continue as we head into Saturday morning. By Saturday afternoon, most of that activity, I think, will have drifted off to the east out of the area, but you can see this is noon on Saturday, and we still have some lingering rain across the far southeastern corner of the state. By 5 o'clock, most of that moisture is off to the east of us, still dealing with thick overcast cloud cover, though, across the far eastern sections of the state. So I would say Friday, maybe 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon to Saturday about noon is our window for some of that moisture. And again, initially, as we see that moisture come, probably for about the first 6, 7, 8 hours, there's going to be the potential where it's going to be that wintry mix of maybe some rain, possibly mixed with some freezing rain or light freezing drizzle. And then eventually we're going to see that change over to all rain as temperatures continue to tick up, as moisture continues to tick up. Again, those dew points will be climbing into the middle 30s. And so, again, temperature can't be lower than your dew point, so temperatures will continue to climb as well. So if we look at in terms of how much moisture we could be expecting, these are numbers from our in-house model. And, again, I think they're fairly representative of what we could see. Not necessarily, don't take the numbers as hard gospel there. But, again, we're going to be looking at a few hundredths to maybe up to around a half an inch of moisture being possible across part eastern and southeastern Nebraska. This is going to be through Saturday at about the noon time frame. So again, I think the highest potential for some more, measurable moisture, some more significant moisture is going to be highest across far eastern and southeastern Nebraska. So that's just liquid precipitation. As far as ice, again, across the eastern half of the state, there is the potential for a few hundredths, maybe up to around a tenth of an inch of ice on the very high end. And again, just a few hundredths of an inch is enough to make things pretty slick. So again, driving, especially Friday evening, that drive home Friday, it could be difficult if there's just a little bit of ice out on the roads, especially those untreated surfaces, sidewalks, driveways, bridges, overpasses that can freeze up a little bit quicker. Those could be pretty slick Friday evening into Friday night. So that is something we're going to watch. And then in terms of snowfall potential, really this system doesn't look like it's going to be cold enough to see really much in the way of any widespread snow. Our in-house model does have a little bit in the far northeastern corner of the state, but generally less than half an inch in those areas. So really overall, we're looking at the potential for more just rain and maybe some freezing precipitation to go along with this as we head through about that 12 to 16 hour time frame, Friday afternoon, Friday evening, Friday night into Saturday morning. So again, not a whole lot of snow with this system, but again, even just a little bit of ice, like I said, is enough to make things pretty tough. If you look at the snowfall potential then past this 24-hour period as we head over the course of the next week, this is the long-range models, the European model. This is through next Thursday at 10 o'clock. Again, really doesn't have much in the way of any snowfall across the state. And then same thing for the American model as well. The GFS model really doesn't have much in the way of any impactful snow across much of the state as we head over the course of the next week. And again, if you look at the even longer range sort of trends, if you're hoping for a white Christmas, again, I don't necessarily have great news for you. area, and we'll look at more of that in just a second. As far as temperatures are concerned, highs today, going to be another cold day, upper teens to upper 20s for eastern and central Nebraska, with some upper 30s to upper 40s as you head across the western half of the state in Lincoln, 26, 24 in Columbus, 22 in Norfolk, 18 in Wayne, 28 in Grand Island, 40 in North Platte, and then 50 for Scottsbluff today. And again, with a little bit of a breeze as we head through the day, we're going to be feeling even colder than that. So for eastern Nebraska, likely seeing wind chills in the teens and 20s through most of the day today. Low temperatures into your Friday morning. Again, another cold start to the day. Single digits and teens as we start our Friday. But then temperatures tomorrow afternoon, again, our high temperatures tomorrow, anywhere from the mid-20s to the mid-upper 30s across the state in Lincoln. We're looking at a high of 36. So, again, it's when the rain starts falling or when the moisture starts falling, will we have had enough time to see temperatures warm up enough that it's going to be all liquid, or will we still be around that freezing mark when the moisture begins to fall? So that's going to be really the big question as we head into Friday afternoon. Low temperatures then Saturday. Again, you can see anywhere from the mid-teens to the low to mid-30s. So again, across southeastern Nebraska, where there is going to be that potential just to see all rain as we head Friday night into Saturday. Again, these temperatures will be playing a big part in that, whether or not we can see a little bit of ice, a little bit of maybe snow mix in, or if it just stays as all rain. And then Saturday afternoon, temperatures continue to moderate a little bit. Still going to be cold in the northeastern corner of the state, with highs only reaching the mid-30s, upper 30s to low to mid-40s in the southeastern corner of the state. Western Nebraska, anywhere from the low 40s to the low 50s for the day on Saturday. Sunday morning, lows will be generally in the low to mid-20s across the 10-11 coverage area, and then Sunday afternoon looks right now pretty nice for most of us. Again, a little bit cooler in the northeast, where temperatures will still hold in the 40s, but low to mid-50s for southeastern, south central, western sections of the state for the day on your Sunday. And then into Monday, low temperatures to start the day, above average, upper 20s to low 30s, but then Monday afternoon will be at least maybe a touch cooler. I will say upper 30s to upper 40s to start the work week next week on your Monday. 7-day forecast for Lincoln looks like this. Again, you can see mid-20s today, mid-30s tomorrow. Again, a bit on the breezy side. Again, we're going to watch for that potential for a wintry mix, some ice, some rain, maybe some snow mixed in. That will linger into Saturday morning. But then dry Sunday and dry through the first half of the week next week, generally with temperatures above average. Warmest will be on Sunday and Monday with highs around 50, upper 40s still on Tuesday, then around 40 by next Wednesday. 10-day forecast for select cities across the state looks like this. Again, you can see the general trend there of cold today, tomorrow, a little bit warmer Saturday into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, before temperatures cool back a little bit, low 30s to low 40s for the second half of the week, next week into next weekend. As far as the precipitation chances, they're going to be highest again today, tomorrow, Saturday, and then really past Saturday, chances for moisture pretty slim as we head Sunday and into the week next week. And then the 8 to 14-day temperature outlooks. This does take us through Christmas Day. This is December 19th through December 25th. And again, still looking at very good odds of seeing above average temperatures during that time frame. Again, this is from the Climate Prediction Center. And again, decent odds of seeing below normal precipitation during that time frame as well. Again, for those hoping for a white Christmas, this doesn't mean we won't see any precipitation whatsoever, but this would make you believe that we would see below normal precipitation through that time frame. Again, normal on a December day isn't much, but if you add it up, we average about 0.2 of an inch of snow just about every day in December or so. So again, it doesn't mean there won't be no snow, but again, right now the chances of a white Christmas don't look that great right now. Again, I believe our historical odds of a white Christmas are around 50%, maybe a little less than 50%. But they don't look great right now. Just looking at December, Christmas Day, our normal snowfall is 1/10 of an inch. So again, you could say our normal snowfall, normal precip during that 6-day period is around 1/2 an inch. But right now the odds are for below normal precipitation, and that would mean below normal snowfall during that time frame as well. So again, a lot to keep our eyes on, especially for the day tomorrow, with that potential for some ice, potential for rain, maybe a little bit of snow mixing in. So again, a lot can still change between now and the onset of that moisture. So make sure you keep it tuned to 1011 both on air and online for all the latest forecast details. I appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching early this morning. And until next time, hope everyone has a nice Thursday and hope everyone stays warm out there today.